I'll sleep when I die. One of the dumbest advice I had ever heard from any motivational speaker out there. These people don't realize that they're gonna die early if they don't sleep anyways. I remember when I started working as a personal trainer back in 2022. I was super motivated and obsessed with the idea of changing everybody's life. But at the time, I was also reading some old school sales books that were telling, go to work an hour early, stay there until everybody leaves. And reading that, I thought I'd be making bank. But the reality turned out completely different. I was tired 24/7, had zero motivation to work, hated the idea of talking to clients, would be fucking around with my coworkers all day, ended up having bad mental health, and on top of that, ruined my own physical fitness as well. The problem was exactly as I told you. I would go to work early. I would wake up at 5 or 6, head to work by 7, stay there until 10 p.m., come back home, and then I would go to bed around 1, I would say, and then wake up at 5 again, and then just repeat the process. I was getting so little sleep, around 4 or 5 hours. So at the end, I decided I'm gonna quit my job, find a new career, start building a different path for myself so that I could only give more time to my own physical fitness and pursue the goals that I had decided to set for myself. But 5 interviews, landing one job, and 2 months later, I was still in the same rut. Going to bed late, waking up early, going to work, going through the same process again and again. I was training, I did follow through to my workout programs, but I was making minimal progress just because of the amount of stress that I was putting on my body and my brain. And obviously, I wanted to change it. And I started learning more about why was that happening in general anyways. And I realized after listening to a podcast by Andrew Huberman that how important sleep was for our mental health, physical health, and cognitive functions. This podcast had opened a whole new world for me as I was learning about things that were kind of out of my IQ, I would say, at the time. But at the same time, that podcast was breaking my ego away as well. I was learning that all the sales book that I had read until now were not true. Like, if you want to make more money, you don't really need to stay there longer. You just need to work smarter. Also, there's no point in going to bed at 11 p.m., waking up at 4 a.m., hitting a workout, going to job, because if you're not able to perform well, it does not make any sense, right? I also learned that sleep deprivation does not only lead to brain fog, as we all know, but sleep deprivation can also lead to many other diseases, physical and mental, such as dementia, heart stroke, fucking, I don't know what, but the list goes on. Just scared the shit out of me. So the question rose that what could you do to improve your sleep? And the list was a very long one, but I broke it down into a simple, autistic way so that I could follow through it and I could teach people like you guys about that as well. And it all just matters on what you do throughout the day that gives you a good night's sleep at the end of the day. And I'll be sharing a few things that I did for myself, and these things worked wonder for me, and I believe they're gonna be working wonders for you as well. If they don't, then I don't know, bro. Just knock yourself out after 5 shots of vodka, I guess. Nah, just kidding, bro. Don't drink. That's bad for your health. Right. So number one, and thing that helped me a lot was getting sunlight the first thing when you wake up. Now, getting sunlight is not only good to hit your vitamin D goals, but it's also good to get some sunlight into your eyes as soon as you wake up. That releases a good cortisol inside our body that alerts our body, tells us that okay, it's morning, it's time to wake up. It is also good to look in the direction of the sun. Don't have a fucking stare battle with the sun. Obviously, you're gonna lose, but stare in the direction where sun is, as that's gonna give more light into your eyes. Make sure not to wear any sunglasses or look through the window, because window is known to slow down the rays by a lot, and that is not what we are aiming to get. And sunglasses, that's like cheating, bro. That's like that, just fucking don't do it. It's also known that Getting sunlight early in the morning sets our body in a biological rhythm that tells us in the evenings, nighttime, baby, go to bed. Well, I'm not a fucking scientist, but I've been doing that for the past 3 weeks and it has been working wonders for me. Secondly, avoid too much caffeine in the middle part of the day, or I would say the later part of the day. Well, if you're a caffeine addict who consumes 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine before hitting a workout at 7 p.m., I feel sorry for you. One of the best things that I did to control my caffeine consumption was limiting it to 2 p.m. as my last cup at the day, as I go to bed at 9:30, so it was giving me at least 7 to 8 hours. It is recommended that you should hold your horses 8 hours before you go to bed. So for some people it might be 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. God knows what time you go to bed, but just make sure you're not consuming caffeine 8 hours before going to bed. But many of you people also work out at the evening time because you guys don't have time in the morning, and I know it's necessary to get some extra boost of caffeine at that time. So I'd recommend go for it, because this also leads us to our next point, that is supplementation. Now, when I talk about supplementation, I don't mean melatonin. Personally, I hate melatonin. It has only given me bad nightmares and made my sleep worse than it was. And it's also known that melatonin affects your hormones. So if you're a male, your testosterone level gets affected. If you're a female, then your estrogen levels get affected. It also affects puberty and young kids. So just don't take melatonin. And if you guys want any research for it, any article or anything, like, I'm sorry, I don't have any. I listened it to in a podcast, but I also read about it. So just go on to Google and search it. You're gonna find it. Trust me. So the best supplement that I have found for myself was magnesium and zinc. When I started taking magnesium and zinc, I could see that I was not waking up in the middle of the night anymore. Even if it was just to take a piss, I'd just quickly go, come back, boom, back to bed. But before that, it would be like I'd wake up just to like go to the bathroom, and I'd come back and I won't be able to fall back to sleep for at least another 15 to 20 minutes. But with magnesium and zinc, I was falling asleep faster and I was staying asleep longer. And even if I did need to get up and go to the bathroom, I'd come back and I'd fall back asleep pretty quickly. Give magnesium a try. Right? And lastly, giving yourself longer bedtime. Now, I don't mean that sexually, but by longer bedtime, I mean, let's say that you want to sleep for 8 hours. At least go to the bed an hour before. So give yourself 9 hours of bedtime, because obviously you don't go to bed as soon as you lie down and close your eyes. You fucking fidget around, you check your phone, do some shit. It takes us around an hour to 45 minutes to an hour to go to bed. So if you want to sleep for 8 hours, give yourself 9 hours of bedtime. Personally, I started going to the bed at 8:30 to 9, as I have to wake up at 5:30. So since I've been doing this, I don't feel groggy anymore when I wake up. I don't want to stay in bed anymore. Well, until and unless I'm in a calorie deficit that I am right now, and every day feels like hell, but it is what it is. Trust me, there are so many things that I haven't even covered in this video at the moment, like our temperature when we go to bed, the temperature when we wake up. There are so many things that affect our sleep and how important sleep is for the longevity of our life. Until and unless if we die in a car crash, well, I hope that God blesses us all with a long life, but yes, please look into sleep. If you found this video useful and would like to see more videos from this small-time YouTuber, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and do all the other things you guys do to the other YouTubers. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.